Good afternoon, everyone. Unprecedented Arctic heating. Remember, we heard that never happened before. It is once in a millennium spike caused by humans. 2018. Oh, wait, 1972. Oh, and again in 1976. I guess it's not unprecedented. All we have to do is match it up with solar activity, and I'm going to leave you with some beautiful lightning over the landscape. And this production is possible because of Hemplucid, and links to all these stories so you can backtrack your own information is in the description box below. I'm going to start you off with the article right here, Unprecedented Arctic Heating. This is featured on What's Up With That. They expanded it out to include different graphics. Remember back in February? Vox ran with it and the world media picked up on it. We've seen unprecedented pattern of high temperatures in the Arctic and all the news headlines spinning off of this. It's never happened before. It's all because of CO2. Now these are the graphics of temperature they're referencing. Remember, this is 80 degrees north up to the North Pole. So that entire top of the northern hemisphere from 80 degrees up to the exact North Pole. These are in degrees Kelvin. The blue line there, just under 2018, that's the freezing point. These are in degrees Kelvin. 273 degrees Kelvin would be 0 Celsius or freezing. So anything below that would be freezing. So even if it did spike, you can still see that's 15 degrees below normal for the entire Arctic Circle. Maybe one temperature station picked up an anomalous reading, but overall, the entire Arctic was still incredibly cold, although the news headlines would make you think differently. And they said it's unprecedented as well, but when we look back in 1972, we see the exact same thing, a spike in heat, approximately the same time of the year as well. Has to be natural causes. 1976, we're seeing the same thing again. It's not unprecedented. Even when we're looking at the temperatures, April 4th, I circled that in the orange there. You can see we're almost right back at the baseline from 1958 to 2002. And coming up to April 15th and 16th, we are actually right back at the exact same baseline from 1958 to 2002. Nobody's really talking about this in the media where they should be. I'm applauding this. Hey, we're back to the average temperatures again. There's no more global warming. Arctic's starting to recover. Temperatures are getting back to normal. That's great news, isn't it? And also talking about the unprecedented heating in 2008, let's go back 1972 and 76. Remember, the parts per million of CO2 concentration was only 315. So today, what are we at, 405? So what caused those two heating spikes even though there were 100 parts per million less in the atmosphere? I'll take you over to the international sunspot number. Perhaps this is it. Notice the levels of solar activity in the 1970s compared to where we are today, solar cycle 24 on the far side of the chart. You'll notice that those two solar cycles were weaker than the others around them. Talking about solar cycles and activity moving out into the future, each successive solar cycle will have less and less sunspots. So solar cycle 25, which has not begun yet, it will begin in a couple of years, is only expected to have 25 average sunspots or less. 25. We're currently at around 78, meaning the solar activity is going to drop that much. A third of what it was in this last cycle. We can expect more cooling, and then moving into 2030, 2040, we're going to go down into something possibly like the Maunder minimum, where there will be no sunspots for decades. This is what we really need to start talking about, is how the cycles of the sun influence our magnetosphere, how this in turn affects our jet streams and pushes cold and hot in areas at the wrong times of the year, affecting global agriculture. It's not CO2, not you, it's the sun. And I'm going to leave you with some amazing lightning photos here. This is Austria, amazing photo. Let's wide that out. And also, as we get deeper into the grand solar minimum, the electrical phenomenon in our sky will start to expand as well. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. And to learn more about the benefits of CBD oil for your mind, body, and spirit, I encourage you to do some research on the net. I've left links below for Hemplucid.